podría ser mejor para levantar a mis hermanos, hombres de valor. Ya hay conocimiento, la nación está creciendo. Agua de vida para mi sed estoy bebiendo. Entiende el que miente, la verdad no defiende. Si aprendes depende de lo que comprendes. El bombillo se prende y la falsedad suspende. A ti, a tus duendes y cualquiera que se ofende. Te invito a un sermón en cualquier callejón de la tribu de Efraín. Si preguntan quiénes son, los santos se preparan que en esto continuaran, el mundo arrojaran y en el reino avanzaran. Estando todo escrito, sirves en tu contra. Es hora de trabajar, salgo de la sombra. Proverbios 6 y 10, el vago se deshonra. Al que responda, quizás le corresponda. No les tiro, sino que les advierto. No sé por cuánto tiempo el reino estará abierto. Ya no estoy hambriento, en la selva solo ando. Me mantengo preparando, siguiendo su comando. Espero no me crean para que así nos investiguen. Que con las pruebas en sus manos en lo claro se les...
All right. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom, Yasharah. Gonna be a fast one today. So I want to start off by sharing my screen, and I want to show the window. All right, So I want to start off by showing this, right? So the first video I did was the basically the cruelties that the Spanish Catholics, or the European Catholics rather, did to the indigenous people of the Americas, right? Shalom from Egypt to Israel. And so the first one was the cruelties that the Spanish or the European Catholics did to the indigenous peoples of the Americas, right? The Northern Kingdom of Israel here in the Americas, right? So I want you to take a quick look at let me see if I can zoom in. Control. All right. So if you look at the right side of your screen, you see it says European colonization of the Americas, and it says the first wave of European colonization. So this was just the first wave, right? And the first wave, it mentions a couple of countries, and it says Basque, British, Coronian, Danish, Dutch, French, German, Hospitaller, Italian, Norse, Portuguese, Russian, Scottish, Spanish, Swedish, right? There's about 11 countries. Excuse me. That's about 11 countries that that basically invaded this side of the world and colonized, right? So let me see if I can see why it doesn't do it anymore. Now that I'm trying to share the screen, let me see something real quick. I want to pull out some scriptures, right? And I want to bring out just bear with me. This is bear with me. So all right. So this is Psalms 83. And starting at verse 4. So like I said, we have these countries, right, that came and invaded, right? So it says, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. So we see that there's plenty of countries that came against us, right? It's even prophesied in the scriptures, right? Um, I want to get another one real quick, and this is First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 10 to 12, right? And it says, "What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman she is become a bond slave, and behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it." So going back to this, it says verse 11, it says, "All her ornaments are taken away." And we know when they invaded this side of the country that it was basically our ornaments, meaning our gold, our jewels, and our precious minerals or whatever that they have stolen, even our life, right? um and it says, "Of a free woman she has become a bond slave." They put us into captivity, into slavery, right? And we know it was the Gentiles. Verse 12 says, "And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste. The Gentiles have profaned it." Right now, what I find cool about all of this is, and I know that's a weird word to use, but what I find cool about all of this is that there's one scripture, right, that I want to go to, and that scripture is Isaiah, um, Isaiah 63, and so I'm gonna read Isaiah 63, verse 4 to 5. So now, if anybody, if you don't know what Isaiah 63 is, I say Isaiah 63 is a prophecy of the coming of the Messiah, right? His second coming. So it says, "For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help." Let's stop right there, right? Understand what's being said. When the Messiah, what the Messiah is saying is that when he looked and he saw what was going on with his people, there was none to help. Out of all these countries that attacked us, there was not one country to help, right? So, and it's crazy because all these countries are they came in, are so-called like Catholic and Christian countries, right? And they think that the Messiah is coming to save everybody, but the Messiah is actually coming to redeem his people, right? Let me finish this verse and then I'll get another verse to show you that. And it says, "For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore, my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I would tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth." So you see, he's basically gonna come back with vengeance for what they did. And let me show you that it is his return definitely is to bring, to redeem his people, right? This is Luke and 160, starting at 168. And it says, "Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he have visited and redeemed his people. He have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us." So we see that, you know the Messiah is basically going to come back to redeem us and put these nations that had us in captivity into captivity, right? He's coming back with a vengeance. So for all you Catholics that don't know this, that say you believe in the Messiah, well, he's coming back with a vengeance, and he's putting all these so-called Catholic people, and their descendants into slavery. Y'all going into it, right? And all y'all that uphold this from our people that uphold this religion, you guys are going into, you guys are gonna have hell to pay, pretty much. So let's let's move forward, right? Let's keep moving. So now, one thing that I want everybody to understand is that these Catholics, they take this false claim as to giving the world the Bible. Right? They claim that yeah, basically yeah, all religion is false, and all religion has to pay. Yeah, Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, Buddhism, Hinduism, all religion is false, and all religion is going to have to pay, because all religion comes from every country, and every country has had their downfall in the children of Israel, which is us, Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans. So yeah, all religions, all countries they're gonna have to pay. Yeah, definitely. So like I was saying, the Catholic Church, they hold fast to this false claim that if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the Bible today, which is a false claim, but it's a false claim nonetheless, right? It's still a claim. This is let me get another scripture real quick, and it is, I'm sick, y'all, so excuse me. Psalms. This is Psalms 50 and verse 16. And it says, "But unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?" So to all those religions that claim the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or the God of the Israelites, what business do y'all have taking my covenant into thy mouth? This is the question that the Most High is asking, right? You guys are wicked, and yet you claim to take my covenant. Like, how is it that you wicked people even have the audacity to try and take my covenant, and take hold of my covenant, being as wicked as you are, right? The Catholic people, Christianity in general, which is, Catholicism, Christianity is one of the same. They say, oh, we are the new church, right? We're the church of God. We are the spiritual Israelites. But God is asking them, "But unto the wicked God saith, why hast thou to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?" So these people have no business taking the covenant. You see what I'm saying? So this is a straight cut to all these religions that claim the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. Okay. With that being said, the Catholic and Christian Church has hijacked the Bible in an attempt to wipe out the true children of Israel, you so-called Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans. How have they done this? Like I said, they claim the covenant, claim that they are the children of God, claim that they are grafted in and are spiritual Israel. That's the doctrine, right? Which if you go to any of my videos, you'll see I smashed the replacement theology. That's what it's called. It's called replacement theology. It's been smashed a long time ago. All right. So now let's touch on this certain topic, which is the Catholic Church holds this false claim that if it wasn't for them, we would not have the Bible. That they compiled the Bible, right? I want to show y'all something real quick. Um, let me share my screen again. No. All right, so let me share this right here. And Is it? All right. I want to try to zoom into this enough to where you guys could see it, but where it's still readable. All right. This is a this is a yeah, actually, yeah. If you look into the to the Pope, he thinks he's the um he basically thinks he's Jesus on earth, like the voice for Jesus on earth, which is blasphemy, right? Who gives him that authority? But anyway, so yeah, so this is a chart of excuse me. This is a chart of um compiled Bibles, right? A chart of compiled Bibles. So if you look at the fourth column right here, it says Codex Vaticanus, which is meaning the Codex Vatican, basically from the Vatican, which is circa 300 to 325. Now, if you know anything about the year 325, this is the Council of Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea was basically a meeting of doctrine, right? It wasn't to compile the Bible. It was a meeting of doctrine, the divinity of Christ, the virgin birth, all this other stuff, right? But I want you to look at these are the books. Look at the books that are missing from their canon, right? First Timothy, Second Timothy, Philemon, and Revelation, right? Those are the books that are missing. That's 5 books missing out of the 27 books that we have today. So that's important because if they hold claim to the fact that they gave us, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have a compiled Bible. Well, according to their own documents, they gave us an incomplete Bible with one of the most important books of prophecy missing, Revelation. So they cannot hold claim to giving us a Bible when they gave us an incomplete Bible. But when we look at the top right here, next to Codex Vatican, right? There's another one, which is the Codex Sinaiticus, which is the Sinai Bible, right? It's a Sinai from Mount Sinai, basically. And it says is a 4th century Christian manuscript of a Greek Bible containing the majority of Greek Old Testament and the Greek New Testament written in unison on a parchment. So the Sinaiticus is a fully complete New Testament. It's basically 27 books that we have today. So if anyone gets any credit for giving us a compiled Bible, is the Codex Sinaiticus, not the Codex Vatican. You understand what I'm saying? So the Catholic Church cannot take hold to giving us a complete compiled Bible when it wasn't. If anything, that credit goes to Codex Sinaiticus. As a matter of fact, if you look up the what was that? Um, look at next to Codex Sinaiticus, and you see the Codex Alexandrinus. This is from Egypt. So the compiled New Testament from the Codex Alexandrinus even has more precedence than the Vatican one. You see what I'm saying? So if anyone gets credit, it's outside of the Catholic Church. But now, this is the important thing that I wanted to share with you guys, right? Um, so what I wanted to share with you guys is, does anybody know does anybody know anything of a guy or of a man named John Wycliffe? Do you know who Wycliffe is? All right. Let's um let's look into this guy real quick. It's important. This guy, pretty important. So let me see if I could keep doing the wrong window. So I don't know if you guys could be able to. Okay, so Wycliffe is it's an important character, right? He's an important character. So let's read a little bit about him. It says Wycliffe's Bible is the name now given to a group of Bible translations into Middle English that were made under direction of John Wycliffe. It says they appeared over a period from approximately 1382 to 1395. So it says these Bible translations were chief inspiration and chief cause of the Lollard movement, a Reformation movement that rejected many of distinctive teachings of the Roman Catholic Church in the Middle Ages. So let me just give you a quick synopsis of this guy, and then we could read more. John Wycliffe was someone who went against the Catholic Church, and obviously in the late 1300s, early 1400s, right? Now, Wycliffe, he basically started translating the Bible from Latin into English. He was one of the first ones to do it, right? Not the Catholic Church. It was Wycliffe. As a matter of fact, at this time, in this era, the Catholic Church deemed it heresy to translate the Bible into English and to copy the Bible for your ordinary man, for your ordinary reader, your ordinary person to read the Bible. It was illegal to read the Bible through the Catholic Church. So when people tell you, oh, if it wasn't for the Catholic Church, you wouldn't have the Bible. Well, you know what? The Catholic Church didn't even allow the Bible out. It was through people like Wycliffe that allowed, or that made a movement, created a movement so that the Bible could be dispersed amongst the common man, for the common man to read. It wasn't the Catholic Church. If it wasn't people for like Wycliffe, the Bible would still be in the Catholics' possession, and no one would have a Bible. You see what I'm saying? So the Catholic Church cannot take claim to that. It's a false claim. So let's keep reading. Um, Most Western Christian people encountered the Bible only in the form of oral versions of the scriptures. Right? See, so you could only know about the Bible if you went to the Catholic Church and had that priest give you anything he told you that was coming out the Bible. Let me see if I could just. So yeah, it says the translators worked. So I'm right here. It says, let me see if I could. Yeah, I'm right there. So it says the translators worked from the Vulgate, the Latin Bible that was the standard biblical text of Western Christianity. They included the testaments those worked, which would later be called the Apocrypha by most Protestants, referred to as Deuteronomy by Roman Catholics and some Angelic, along with Third Esdras, which is now called Second Esdras, and Paul's epistles to Lacedaemonians. So these people they had the Apocrypha, right? The Apocrypha was old. They knew about the Apocrypha, and they were translating it from the Latin Vulgate, and the Catholic Church wouldn't allow this translation into English because they wanted total control of the Bible, right? And remember Psalms 50 and 12. Now let me I just saw something that I wanted to harp on. Most common Middle English, 15th century. Where was that? I saw it over here. Okay. It says, so check this out, right? So they locked this guy up, Wycliffe. Shabbat Shalom, Yasharallah House of Learning. So they locked this guy up, right? They locked this guy up for what he did, right? But check this out though. It says even 20 years after Wycliffe's death at the Oxford Convocation of 1408, it was solemnly voted that no new translation of the Bible should be made without prior approval. However, as text translated in various versions of the Wycliffe Bible was the Latin Vulgate, there was in practice no way by which the ecclesiastical authorities could distinguish the banned version. So that means that after Wycliffe translated it, everybody started making copies of it and handing it out. But check this out, right? Um the Catholic Church. Yeah. So I I had something here, man. All right, here it goes. Yo, check this out, y'all. This is how cruel the Catholic Church is, right? This is how much you could tell that they're devils. It says if you look at the purple highlighted part, it says, or as a matter of fact, from right here, from then later on, it says, then later on, after John Wycliffe was dead, the Council of Constance declared Wycliffe on May 4th, 1415, a heretic, and under the ban of the church, it was decreed that his books be burned and his remains be exhumed. In 1428, at the command of Pope Martin, Wycliffe's remains were dug up, burned, and the ashes cast into the river. Bro, that's deep. That means that these popes dug up his body, burned it, and then threw the ashes into the river after he was already dead. This is how demonic the Catholic Church is. That's crazy. That is so sick, bro. That is so sick. So if you call yourself Catholic, I want you to explain. I want you to defend that right there. If you defend the Catholic religion, please be more of a freaking man than your mommy and come and defend that. Defend that. Defend this act right here where the Pope decreed that this man should be dug up, burned, and his ashes spread. Come defend that. Somebody, please, somebody come defend it. To me, that's wild. Okay. Let's see this. Let me see this link real quick. See what this. I know I had it. John Wycliffe's. This is John Wycliffe's Bible translation. Ruled and they authorized Bibles written only in Latin. Yeah, so they only wanted the Bibles written in Latin and they didn't want to disperse them. After Wycliffe translated the Bible into, let me see if I can zoom in so y'all can read along. I keep in this wrong window. Okay, so after Wycliffe translated the Bible into English, each copy took 10 months to be written by hand. These translations were banned and burned as quickly as church officials could get their hands on them. Wow. Yeah, this is going into the basically the doctrine, and because they kind of had their own they Protestant, so they kind of had their own little doctrine too. But whatever. Yeah, so this is basically just some history on Wycliffe, not really too important. All right. So now there's somebody else. There's somebody else that's important, right? Tyndale. I don't know if you know about Tyndale, but Tyndale came after Wycliffe, right? It says, I'm reading this little excerpt real quick. It says Tyndale's translation was the first English Bible to draw directly from Hebrew and Greek texts. Remember, Wycliffe translated his Bible from Latin, but Tyndale translated his Bible directly from Hebrew and Greek texts. It says Tyndale, yeah, William Tyndale, exactly. Tyndale translation was the first English Bible to draw directly from Hebrew and Greek texts, the first English translation to take advantage of the printing press. So this dude, he's like, yo, we got the printing press. I'm gonna translate this and we're gonna print Bibles. We're gonna print all these Bibles. We're gonna get Bibles out there, right? So it says English is it, and the Bibles of the Reformation and the first English translations to use Jehovah as God's name as preferred by English Protestant reformers. It was taken to be direct challenge to the hegemony both of the Catholic Church and of those laws of England maintaining the church position. So even England, the Catholic Church in England was, opposed to this. The work of Tyndale continued to play a key role in spreading Reformation ideas across the English-speaking world and eventually across the British Empire. Um, I think I got the link here of what I was reading. I should have just did that. Um, yeah. So this is Tyndale, right? I don't know. He looks black, but I don't know. That could be. I don't know. Could be. You never know, right? It's hard to tell from a black and white picture, to be honest with you. Says October 15, right? 1494 to October 1536 was an English biblical scholar and linguistic who became a leading figure in Protestant Reformation in the years leading up to his execution. So he was executed for his work by guess who? The Roman Catholic Church, right? He is well known as a translator of Bible into English and was influenced by the works of Protestant Roman Martin Luther. Luther's translation of the Christian Bible into German appeared in 1522. Tyndale translation was the first English Bible to draw directly. Yeah, this is what I was reading. Tyndale translation Bible was used for subsequent English translations, including the Great Bible and the Bishop's Bible. All right. All right, so check it out. Look, right here it says in 1535, Tyndale was arrested and jailed in the castle of Vilvoorde outside. That was mad white. Vilvoorde. I don't know, but I don't know. Outside Brussels for over 1 year. In 1536, he was convicted of heresy and executed by strangulation, at which his body was burned. So hold up. They strangled the man and then burned him. He was already dead. And then they burned him. This is how you no. No, no, no. Not like no. No, not like the Messiah. No. He was being burnt at the stake is like you get tied up to like a rope like behind your back and the stick is coming down your back like the way they did the Native Americans and the indigenous people of the Americas. Yeah, so man, he was strangled and then burned. That's crazy by the Catholic Church. Again, any Catholic watching this, would you like to defend your Catholic religion? I would love for you to come defend your Catholic religion with this crap. This is sickness, right? What else do I have for you? Okay, so now yeah, so now what I want to go into something real quick, right? This is probably gonna be like the closer of this, but real quick, before the Catholic Church was even thought of, there was a book that had the Old Testament and the Apocrypha in it, and it was already compiled and it was circulating already. So basically, by the time of the Messiah, this Bible was already circulating. As a matter of fact, the apostles, the 12 disciples and the apostles, right, Paul and all of them, they already had this book. This is where they were reading from, and it was called the Septuagint. The Septuagint or the LXX was compiled and completed in the year 132 BCE. They already had this book. Besides that, the Isaiah scroll was out. Daniel had already wrote in a book. All these prophets had already wrote their books, and it was circuit. How do you think most of these Pharisees and Paul and even the Messiah. What's that verse? Let's get that verse real quick. Show you real quick. Look, this is Luke 4 and I think 16. Right? What is it? And he came to Nazareth when he was brought up. All right, so and it says, and he came, yeah, this is Luke 4 and 16. And it says, and he came to Nazareth where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. Verse 17. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. So even during the time of the Messiah, there was already books. There was already books of the scriptures circulating. He had the book of Isaiah, reading the book of Isaiah. So the Catholic Church cannot claim anything but freaking blasphemy and atrocity. That's the only thing the Catholic Church can claim. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they're devils. So so for now, that's all I have. Oh, I wanted to say this real quick too, for anybody watching, especially, any of you Catholics. This was all done with Google search. From video 1 to video 3 was all done with Google search. There was no deep study in this. There was no scholarly work done in this. There was no strenuous reading for this. This was all something that anyone can do if you just know how to type into Google. So you have to do. All you gotta do is type it in Google and press return so you can search. That's how easy all this stuff is. I would love for somebody to challenge me so that I can actually have to dig into some real books and to some real history. And I know, and the reason why I say that is that give me the motivation to actually bust your ass on some real scholarship work. Give me the motivation, because I want to really, really search into some stuff. And I know if I search into some stuff, I'm gonna find some stuff that's gonna kill you Catholics. But just with a simple Google search, this is the stuff that I was able to find. That anybody could find this stuff. That's my point. If you really, if you're a Catholic, you can Google this stuff yourself and find out that the religion you follow is straight devilish. And it was made of the devil. Made of the devil. So with that, y'all, I want y'all to take this, put it in your arsenal, maybe save it for later. But I thank y'all for watching. And I hope y'all, if you celebrate the Friday to Saturday night Shabbat, then Shabbat Shalom. Hope y'all enjoy it. And stay prayed up, stay praying for each other. Remember, we almost at that end, y'all. So remember, to all my Israelites, all my blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Shalom, y'all. Shalom. All praises to the Most High.